Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I am going to do our spiritual principle a day in a meditation for May 25th. Hope you're doing well today. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. Title of the meditation for today: Humility Grounds Us. The practice of humility helps us be honest about our circumstances. We learn to live and give within the limits of our lives. Now, that comes from the Guiding Principles book, Tradition 7 for members. In active addiction, we became masters of manipulation. We spun a web of lies so intricate that we began to believe our own nonsense. The admission that we were addicts may have been the first time we have been truly honest with ourselves in years. With this honesty comes an opportunity to take a look at our lives and where our active addiction led us. For many of us, being at our lowest low, having lost everything but our lives and feeling humiliated by our behavior, inspires a modicum of honesty and humility. Others of us identified our spiritual and emotional desperation before we destroyed our relationships or lost our material possessions. In either case, an honest assessment leads us to practice humility as we accept that we're no better and no worse than anyone else in the room. As we stay clean, we get to know ourselves better through the process of working the steps. Becoming familiar with our strengths and weaknesses in the sixth step gives us some perspective on what we have to offer the world and the fellowship. And in step 7, we find new freedom in developing a humble and realistic view of ourselves and our resources. Life has a way of nudging us back to a state of humility as new experiences challenge us over time. We learn to stay clean through life's losses, divorce, bankruptcy, death, and we learn to stay humble even as we pursue an education, meet success in our careers, or establish healthy romantic relationships. We do our best to stay grounded in our program by remaining humble. Practicing humility can help us learn how to monitor our emotional well-being and change course before we hit a breaking point. When we lose sight of our humility, we become more vulnerable to overextending ourselves, risking emotional or physical exhaustion. Over time, we learn our limits. Protecting pride and ego takes a back seat to defending healthy boundaries. We begin to learn how to give within our means. Today, I will maintain a realistic perspective on my circumstances and exercise humility and discernment when offering to contribute or serve. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. Wow, 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 wow. That's all I can say. I know some of you are like, I wonder where she's gonna go with this one. There's so many things that came to mind, but I just want to say this is a beautiful meditation. I believe this is a 5-star meditation. I believe this is one that you want to save, and I believe that this is one you should bend the pages back And the heading, right, in your reference section where you write in the back of your book, the pages you want to go back to, would be honesty and humility, spiritual principles, / maybe service work. Okay. So let's get into this. Let's unpack this. The benefit of this meditation is the fact that it causes a person that is a giver, a person that doesn't know how to say no, an opportunity to be reflective, right? In the sense of a 10th step, it gives you an opportunity to be reflective about where you are with how much of your time and your energy you commit to other things and other people, and whether or not you're maintaining self-care, whether or not we're being healthy, having healthy boundaries when we actually do that. The majority of us today can say that we go back and forth. I mean, we just fluctuate. Sometimes, depending on who it is, we may not be in the mindset that we should even say no to the person, right? Or the situation. Okay, you want an experience. Here's an experience. My faith has members called congregants, right? Members outside of the NA society. I have a faith society. And the faith society, we, generally speaking, meet on a regular basis, usually Saturday or Sunday, and maybe one other day during the week, to encourage one another. And we have literature that we actually read, right, to help us. Outside of NA literature, we have literature, right? And the thing is that uh, there's a tendency, anytime an event would come up, a service, a funeral, anniversary party, anytime something like that, because I have a really good gift of hospitality, right? I really do care about people, and I can speak. I'm an orator, right? So I can grab the attention of people and will find myself almost without planning emceeing, right? Emceeing other people's, mistress of the ceremony. I will find myself emceeing individuals' events. Quite honestly, I enjoyed it, but I really didn't always have the time. I don't have the time. Like, I just don't have the time. I just don't really have the time. But because I love the congregants, and because I love orating, and because I love giving, and I love to see people moved by structure in an event, and I can bring that to any event really without planning. It's quite natural for me to do it. And so when I'm doing it, I'm not thinking, you need to be studying. You got a paper due in like 6 hours. What are you doing? Like, you don't even know these people for real. And you're doing that. Okay, so that's a circumstance where I find myself struggling to say no, right? Yeah, of course, I'm good at it, but I don't have to be good at it for everybody all the time, right? I got things to do. So personal things to do. So a healthy boundary there is being able to say, you know what? I would love to come read some poetry for you guys, but I don't have the time. I am so sorry. And I don't want to waste your time with you thinking that I'm thinking about it. I just don't have the time. You're going to need to find somebody else. And I know that is not what you have planned for this event, but if I can do it, let me tell you something. And I am an amateur at the spoken word, you can find somebody else. I know. Matter of fact, let me give you a couple names. They do it for hire, actually, right? And there you go. Formulating your responses to be able to say no, right? All of this is really you just using a state of humility, right? You're using humility and you're using honesty, which that's part of how the program, HOW, right? Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. You're being honest, but you're also being humble and you're acknowledging that this is my circumstance and I can't do everything. I have to sleep. I have to eat. I have children to take care of. I'm very adamant about that. And I want for you to be. I want for you to be. Okay, so it took me, I had to stretch and grab a situation that I know is factual that I've experienced, right? But I was able to do it because I'm much better about doing it now, right? And so I had to kind of reach for something that was not too far long ago, but a couple years ago, right? You need to do the same. If I can do it, you can do it. I need to do it, so I know you need to do it. We all need to do it. All of us can use this when we talk about humility. Because you know what? I also have experiences where I didn't use honesty and I didn't use humility, and I went way overboard. And if you think my good days, right? We talked about the last meditation. If you think my good days where I'm hitting it, you know, at the end of the last meditation, I misspoke and I was like, there's no way in the world I'm redoing this. 2 years ago, I would have been retaping and retaping and retaping. But today, no. I'm able to look at the situation, analyze it, and keep it moving. It's a privilege of being clean today and having a program and practicing these spiritual principles in all our affairs. If I can do it, I want it for you. And all of us can relate to not doing it. That's where I was headed. Thank you. Not doing it and being humiliated by the ball being dropped or us really lacking the energy to carry it through. All of us have been there. I know, but we have an opportunity to do better. We know better, so we do better. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose, because if you don't do it, you know what I say, if you don't do it on purpose, nobody else is going to do it for you. You deserve that. After coming through the war zone that we've been in, we deserve self-care. Talk to you tomorrow.